So this is the frame that defines the player's work for the afternoon. It'll be 6-3 to Robertson, or only 5-4 when they adjourn. Two hours, 31 minutes of hard graft we've had, with some brilliance along the way. 103 break Allen, second frame. 114 Robertson in the fourth frame, which was in the course of a 3-frame winning streak, in which he was hugely impressive. Very well directed safety from Robertson.
And again, evidence in that safety shot of Neil taking the thin option, not wanting to open them up. He could have played thicker off the pack, but played the red that chipped the pink out and kept everything tight down there. Will it pay off for him? Mark Allen's in a spot of bother again here. Playing a two-cushion escape. This is danger. Through the little gap, trying to glance the pack of reds.
Foul. And a miss. No, Robertson full. Back.
Just a hair of an adjustment. Wasn't far away the first time.
A bit further back.
Very nearly hit that one.
Yeah, okay.
I've got to say that with all the game's ball replacements, virtually every player is pretty fair-minded.
Oh, that's a great shot. Disappointed not to get the Chinese snooker, but at least he's kept Neil at distance. But he has left a shot to nothing around the back of the black, and he'll be playing short of the baulk colours. Caught another red, but it slowed up. And for a lefty, that's a cinch of a blue to the far corner, so that little kiss has done him a favour. Another chance. Yeah, but going back to Mark Allen replacing the ball, you're right, Clive. You do get the odd player that steals a little bit. It would be wrong to say otherwise, because simply because you do. I've seen it, but not Mark Allen. One of the most honest players in the game. No, there's no doubt about that.
Six. Seven. $13. 14. 21. $22. $29.
Yeah, the pink obviously doesn't go, otherwise he'd have played it by now, so it's top side of the blue. Oh, has he had a kick there? Oh, sorry, must have been dead straight. He obviously was,
30.
so it's going to be a red at mid-distance to keep the break going.
$35. 36.
Yeah, I think he would rather have not went into the pack this early, but the angle he has in the blue, he's got no choice, I think. And it's not a bad pack to go into from the blue. So this could be the key shot coming up. Cue ball to the right hand side of the pink. He should be on one.
$41.
It's left the black not completely available, but the pink could help Robertson continue his break. As could the blue.
I think he can play for the pink in the same pocket from this red. He was just concerned about a little cannon on the first red, but it's absolutely fine, and he's now in A1 position here to close out the last frame of the session and go in tonight with a 3-frame advantage restored.
48. $49.
I think he's just decided to play the little
55.
cannon here. This will the key to the frame. Shouldn't be a problem though. Simple little shot.
56.
And he's set fair now. Black for 67. Simple red to follow, and it will be 6-3.
And more than likely his second century of the afternoon.
63. $64.
Robertson had a very dominant spell from 1-all
71.
to 4-1 up. Twice Allen reduce the gap to 2 frames. But now, unless we have an unlikely outcome with the aid of snookers, it's going to be 6-3 to Robertson at the interval.
Yeah, sure. 8.
All's not lost here for Mark Allen. That red that's immediately between black and pink spot will be the one that he'll be leaving to last, if he can. Not all that difficult to get a snooker from that one. And look where the green and brown are. I know he needs 2 4-point snookers to be able to tie. But if I were at the table, that would be my target.
I'm just wondering whether Robertson lost his concentration at the end of that 71 break.
$16. 17. 24. 25.
Oh, that's a bad shot from Mark. Dear, oh dear. That's just concentration. Had to be straight or high on the black.
And now he's missed the black.
Frame conceded, frame there, Robertson.
No further action necessary. Allen concedes. Robertson leads by 6 frames to 3.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the final between Neil Robertson and Mark Allen. The Australian is starting to apply the pressure. He leads by 3 and is closing in on the winning mark of 10. Commentary from Clive Everton and Neil Folds.
Neil Robertson, 14.
As he did several times this afternoon, Allen has left his safety well short of the ball cushion, and thus within potting range for Robertson.
Well, he could make this quite a decent snooker because he's obviously he hasn't got to roll up to a ball, but he can use the brown to get right in behind the yellow. And that is pretty
Robertson
good.
won.
I mean, there is a shot perhaps to lie into the left side of the bunch. If you could get there, I don't think he can get there.
Full houses every session for the latter part of the week.
Well, if he's looking at going across there first of all, then he is in trouble, because that is a very awkward route if you're going left cushion. There is no great shot that springs out here and says play me. It's a difficult one. He's got to find which red he wants to hit. Just say something on the left if he could lean into that little bunch.
or a multi-cushion escape to the back of the bunch, if there is a route to it.
Now that's a minute and a half, and he doesn't seem any closer to playing this shot than he was when he walked to the table. Well, he's still trying to find a route, as the expression goes. Only one shot here. Unfortunately, I haven't got a clue what it is.
Can you put that away, please? The flash on the front.
If it's a map, you can keep it out.
He's asking for a map, maybe a compass as well. I think he's... The way I think he's looking will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cushions. Left cushion up there, bolt cushion, right cushion where he's standing, and then across to the left bottom side, and then into the back of the bunch off the black rail. I'm saying 5 cushions, Clive. I'm not saying he's going to hit it, but I'm saying he's going 5 cushions. That's about it.
1, 2, 3.
Well, it was meant to be 5, wasn't it? But we only got to the 3rd before something got in the way. It's a look. It's a rotten snooker, this, and I wouldn't blame anyone for taking a while to get out of this one.
Is that okay? Asked the referee, Paul Collier. It's back in its original position, but it's no more okay than it was before. 1, 2, 3.
Foul and a miss.
Well, the only good news is that we haven't got to go through all that
Robertson
again,
5.
neither has Mark, but the worst still, he stuck an easy red, which of course Neil will be playing. More important than watching poor old Mark get out of the snooker will be just to try and go to the task of winning the frame, and he starts that task here with this red.
One. Eight.
And it looks absolutely lined up, doesn't it, that plant?
9.
Bang in position. It looks like 7-3 coming up.
16.
But he's still got to do it.
17. $24. 25. 32.
It's been the perfect frame played
33.
so far by Robertson. If you remember, he knocked in a good long red, which allowed him to lay that pretty fiendish snooker that he got poor old Mark Allen in, and then as a consequence of the error that he'd forced,
40.
he goes about winning the frame. That's kind of how the game should be played. It's not always possible. He's done nothing wrong.
$41.
If Robertson does win tonight, it will be his first major success
46.
since he won his 10th world ranking title, the Wuxi Classic, at the start of last season.
47.
Although he did get into the Champion of Champions by winning a minor ranking event in Gdynia, Poland. Allen knows that
52.
his 6-3 interval deficit has become 7-3.
$53. $60.
That's actually not bad. But the break ends there. Altogether, it's a pretty good frame that he's played.
Robertson, 60 and a frame.
Yes, Robertson kept Allen scoreless in that frame. And Robertson leads by 7 frames to 3.
Welcome back to this, the final of the Champion of Champions, Neil Robertson against Mark Allen. The Australian is 3 away from taking this title. He leads 7-3 as we pick up the action in the 11th frame. Commentary comes from Clive Everton and Neil Folds.
And, well, there are 2 reds on. I thought he got away with it for a minute.
Yeah, both of those reds popped to the left corner, Clive. Although it won't be an easy starter. Because he's got to stretch on it a little bit.
One.
Seemed rather a dead contact, but there's no problem.
Eight. Nine. $16. 17.
No problem with that red. And probably won't be for the one on the pink spot either. But either red along the black cushion
24.
would require care and accuracy.
25.
He's just a little bit straight on this. He only wants
32.
red and high value colour. We've seen one or two of these stay up along there at speed.
33.
Not that one though. With this black, Robertson would go 38 in front with only 35 on. So it certainly looks like 8-3 coming up.
Neil Robertson 40.
And a snooker for good measure, I believe. Well, it almost seemed as if Robertson didn't attempt the pot there.
I don't know, it's a strange one, wasn't it? Judging by the way he's been knocking the long ones in. If he did play it, he missed it by an awfully long way. It's very difficult to fault how he's playing, just the occasional shot here or there. And really, Mark tonight hasn't done much wrong. As I say, if you think about how this frame might be lost, he was in that snooker that required a third effort to hit it, where he went for the red down the rail. You go back to the shot before, that was Robertson with the very thin red that found its way behind the green. That was not played.
Not quite a snooker.
The ball's certainly not the worst, though, for getting snookers where they are. I can get to half of this. It's a horrible shot, though. If he could go cushion first, I think he'd like to. I'm not even sure if he can do that. Green's in the way. Well, this is a good shot. This is a great effort. Again, so unlucky.
still only one snooker needed. Looks promising.
What a brilliant shot. What a great shot. I forget a snooker that was. Okay, it might not be that difficult, but a shot that I don't think any other player, I think I've never seen a shot like that before. Bit of a swerve. As you say, it is one snooker. The frame is not done yet. Balls are quite promising for getting them.
I've just got it nagging away in the back of my mind that Robertson could regret not attempting the long red that I mentioned about 5 minutes ago, which certainly would have put Allen out of the frame. But he knows his business best.
And once again, it is snooker, but the swerve is on, as was the case last time.
That is a snooker, but pretty easy to hit. There isn't room round the back of it. So effectively that was a wide ball. There always was a possibility of a snooker on that diagonal.
One. Neil Robertson, 1.
Once again, I can't imagine why I didn't pot the brown that was over the top right pocket there, to be honest. I don't know if it'll make any difference, but yeah, that makes zero sense to me.
.39 the difference, only 27 on. 3 4-point snookers to tie, and the only glimmer of hope I think for Allen is the blue and black in the middle of the table. That's quite a wide barrier to lay a snooker behind, even though it would have to be a good one. Three snookers to tie then. Otherwise it's 8-3 to Robertson.
I know the score's not 8-3 yet, but it looks that way, and I've been reminded by Matt, who writes a pro snooker blog, which is quite good to read actually if you're into the game, that he was 8-3 down in the 2011 UK final, was Mark Allen, and he got it back to 9-8 down. He lost 10-8, but he made a pretty healthy comeback from such a long way back in that final.
Yes, that was against Judd Trump.
Well, that will be the score now, 8-3. So that comeback's going to have to be forthcoming soon.
Neil Robertson, 2 under frame.
8-3 to Robertson it is. Needs only 2 more frames for the title.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the final between Neil Robertson and Mark Allen. Commentary from Clive Everton and Neil Folds.
Neil Robertson, 54.
Well, red to middle eludes him, so everything not lost for Allen in this frame.
Well, that was awkward cueing. It was a very good shot.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17. 24. 25. Sure.
Still a couple of obvious difficulties as regards clearing up in one, but at least this contribution is Getting him back in the frame.
Mark Allen, 25.
Another basic ball. Eludes him though.
Well, the balls have gone a little bit awkward now. 24-point deficit that Mark Allen has is a bit of a concern, where you've got 4 or 5 safe balls on the table. It means it's difficult to clear up in more than 2 or 3 visits. So it is a handy lead.
Black safe. Pink safe. All reds safe. But they won't be safe forever. I'm sure Allen is trying as hard as he can, but there have been 1 or 2 hints that he is demoralised.
I see what you're saying. I think a couple of balls that he's missed suggest that. Not to say he couldn't be picked up by a little frame winning performance. We know he's in general playing well. It was a long, hard route to get here, because this time a week ago he'd probably just won the Bulgarian Open, which was the last chance saloon for anyone hoping to play in this event. This tournament goes down as an invitational event, but you kind of invite yourself into it, don't you, by winning important tournaments along the way.
Meanwhile, Robertson has left him at maximum distance. And from shorter distance, Robertson has a pot on. Might have been hoping to develop the red away from the middle of the ball cushion as well.
Foul. Neil Robertson 1, Mark Allen 6.
It was a bit late for Neil Robertson to stop himself playing that shot, and I guess he probably would have preferred not to have played it. The foul was called a split second before he hit the ball. It was a shirt foul, shirt cuff or something. But I don't think if he'd have got up from the shot, he would have left anything.
Yes, a cuff foul. Vigilant refereeing by Paul Collier.
Doesn't happen all that often, that. You do occasionally get, it's usually clothing or something that just hangs down. that makes a player foul a ball.
Mark Allen 1.
Well, one shot choice could have been make sure of the colour for the extra points and then play a safety. What he chose to do was to try to lay a snooker.
That's not good. This is a shot that he can reach. I don't know what he'll play here. I don't know whether he can move the other red or how he's going to get the red down the table. Oh, that's the answer. He did try and move the red. It's opened things up. It really is a chance to win the frame. I don't think he's got much angle on the green, but oh yes, that's a beautiful little shot. Creeping behind the red and in front of the pink there. Very nice.
4.
Now, he said he looked a bit down in the dumps earlier on, as if he'd shoulders had dropped a bit, but he needs to knock these in and win the frame, and this match is clearly not over if he can do that.
5.
Got to start somewhere on this comeback if he's going to make it at all.
Eight. Ten.
Now, this is where it's awkward because he's a left-hander, but he uses the rest right-handed, so it's quite an awkward shot for him across there. But he made it look okay.
13.
Good thing is, and he's up to the pink. The pink's awkward, but he wouldn't have to get from pink to black. It's pink only.
$17.
Once again, that is not bad. The angle he has takes him right down the centre of the table, right down the spots, up and down, and if he plays it well, he'll be on the pink.
$22.
Perfect. It drops at the last. Mistakes on both sides in that frame, including a cuff.
19 frames, so time is running out for Mark Allen. But as we start the fourth and final session of this final, he is fighting hard. Commentary for this 13th frame comes from Clive Everton and Neil Foltz.
Allen still 8-4 down though. What winning the last frame has achieved, though, is that there will be action after the mid-session interval. That mid-session interval comes after this frame. No doubt about it. Winning that frame will have given Allen a boost.
And he's just top side of the blue as well. Red's nicely spread.
Six.
Has he gone too far? I think he has, for the red he wanted to play in the right corner.
Seven.
I think that's all right. Not bad.
Well,
he's got various reds that he could play here. Reds into either corner pocket.
$13. $20. 21. $28. 29. $36. 37.
Well, again, great chance given by that spread of the
44.
bunch earlier. And he's played them well. It was a little awkward once or twice.
45.
Demonstrating what a nice touch he has in amongst them. Always thought that. Short cue action which sees him get a lot of cue speed. Very different cue action to his opponent. But, he really gets a good feel in amongst
53.
them.
Yes, he shortens up his bridge and shortens up his grip as well. Not for that shot because he had to bridge from the cushion rail, but generally.
And he's very fluent because he's made this break really quickly. His frame's only just over 5 minutes old and it's as good as over. Still a bit of work to do, but not much.
61.
Well, when Robertson was in with 54 early in the last frame, heading for 9-3. I thought this match was nearly over, but by winning the last frame,
68.
Allen has reactivated the match as a contest.
Yes, and there certainly could be a lot of snooker left into it now after that break if this sudden
75.
fight back continues. It will be the equivalent of the usual
76.
format of best of 9 frames and being 3-0 up. First to 5, which is never over.
Just
83.
failed to open the cluster.
Frame just coming up to 7 minutes old, and it's over, and it's long since. And that's how he's done it, with high value colours at the bottom there. First bolt colour that he's just taken.
Sure. 88.
Just reminding us what he can do.
If he can knock this red in, the odds are that he would make his second century of the match.
Thanks. 89.
Following is 103 in the second frame.
$96. 97.
This capacity crowd
103.
want to see more of this,
104.
and they will after the mid-session interval, with Robertson still needing 2 frames to win the title.
110. 112.
A dashing century by Mark Allen, 112.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions and the final between Neil Robertson and Mark Allen. The Australian has dominated for large sections of this final, but it's Mark Allen who is staging the fight back. He took the 12th and 13th frames as we pick up the action at the start of the 14th. Commentary comes from Clive Everton and Neil Folds.
Well, that's one of the worst shots he's played all week. How on earth has he gone into the red like that?
May have been intending to cannon his half ball to bring it away from the cushion slightly, but that was very bad.
Neil Robertson won.
What a strange frame this has been. 2 or 3 good chances either side. If one misses, the other one misses. Not a reflection of the match in general, which has been to a very high standard.
6.
Well, the right-hand reds are cut back. The one to left corner, not easy.
Seven.
And importantly, it pulled up before it got over the top of the green, that cue ball, which means he can drop this in. Pushed it, I think, put a bit of left-hand
Mark
side
Allen,
on, and
7.
the only good side is that because he missed it thick, the cue ball didn't go anywhere.
Very low total score, 18-11, with only 4 reds left. Not quite in behind the pink, as he was attempting. Poor safety from Allen.
Well, Neil's not putting all the short ones tonight, but the long ones continue to go in nicely.
Now, has Robertson got sufficient angle on the pink to play a cannon on the top red?
Seven.
Well, he's done
Neil Robertson,
just
7.
about the same as what Mark Allen did. It was a slightly different shot, similar angle, and he's put it to the far jaw as well. Not quite a carbon copy, but a very similar type of shot. Thinking more about the colour that was to follow. Now,
1.
doesn't matter what's gone before. This frame is starting to seem a little bit more important now than ever, because whoever loses it will be pretty disappointed, because they both had about 4 chances.
Eight.
I don't think there's been a 10 break in this frame. Even at short
Mark Allen,
range,
8.
those are missable. These jaws are unforgiving.
I think they've been tight this week, these tables. Standards have sometimes been high despite the pocket size, not because of it.
1.
Oh, it's a crazy frame, this one, Clive, isn't it? It really is. I mean,
Robertson 1.
there are so many balls missed.
And I think his intended next shot was always
Stop
going to
call
be
it
a
out.
snooker behind the black. Like that.
Can you see who it is? You have a word with him, yeah?
One or two noises in the crowd coming from somebody, which we can do without, I think. Anyway, the snooker has been got. Green is slightly in the way of the one cushion escape, the natural one cushion angle. I'm pretty sure he didn't play cushion first.
I'm certain. Good pot to go 8 in front. Pink makes 14. Should get on the yellow. Green awkwardly situated, which was why he tried to move it while retaining yellow ball position.
7. Mark Allen 7.
I remember seeing Ronnie O'Sullivan win a deciding frame in an early round of the Masters with the highest break of 8. And this is a very similar frame.
Well, he's unlucky there. Although he's never going to be on the green, wherever it finished. I think I remember the frame. Might have been Nigel Bond who played in that match.
I think it was.
Highest break of 8. And very unusual. If you're going to win the frame, that is. Not so much if you lose it.
We take a break in the 14th as the players battle for the advantage and the opening that will take them across the winning line in this crucial frame. Welcome back to this, the final of the Champion of Champions, Neil Robertson against Mark Allen. The Australian is 2 away from taking the title. He leads 8-5, but crucially, Allen has taken the last 2 frames as we rejoin the action in the middle of a very cagey 14th frame. Commentary comes from Clive Everton and Neil Folds.
No, he'd like to just push maybe the green onto the black, but it might be a little thin for that. That's good. That's fine.
I don't think he can hit enough of the green to hammer it round off 3 cushions to leave it safe. But he'll be happy with that. This frame has been running 44 minutes. Nicely played, using the blue as a stopper for the cue ball. Allen made sure that he got the green well past the middle pocket. 3/4 of an hour for this frame, and it's a crucial one. (9.5 or 8.6), big difference. It's the thinking time which is elongating this frame as much as any other factor. And there are some fascinating choices to make in this tactical duel.
Well, a bit unlucky not to get in behind that brown down the rail. I think he would have fancied winning the frame there, but again, he's going to do it in another visit to this one, if he gets there at all. But what he could do is get in behind the black with the cue ball. And that is well played. So the advantage certainly gained by Robertson, despite the 9-point deficit. He'd prefer to be in the position he is.
And it was such a good long green. Unlucky that the brown clipped the pink. Chance for Robertson to go 9-5 up. Robertson thought he might be struggling to get the cue ball down far enough for the blue, and in the end he's overhit by a considerable margin.
I'm being told it's the longest frame of the tournament, 49 minutes. There were one or two that dragged out. This has been a poor frame, actually. A tense frame as well.
Neil Robertson 4.
Well, that was an interesting plan. An attempt to pot the blue. That's what it seemed like anyway, unless he took the blue nearer the pocket than he intended.
Well, this time Mark's played a good shot. He's played it really well. There's a tiny edge with this blue sticking out, and we've already seen him hit a couple of thin ones along that rail. There is a sliver of the blue ball, and I guess it works as a guide, because if he does hit it, he should hit it thin. He can't hit it thick. But he's missed it, and you can see straight away he wasn't that close to it. Miss will be called.
Mark Allen 5, free ball.
I don't know what use the free ball is. If it was me, I'd probably have it back. But the replacing is very important here, because there was not very much of it sticking out. And Mark's making sure that it gets put back right, and I think that's absolutely in order. I'm not saying that Paul won't, because he's an absolutely fine referee, but
okay,
it's all agreed.
Very good. Intended to move the blue as little as possible. The back heel, but didn't actually get behind it.
Couldn't have been a worse result. I don't think there was room behind it, and the object border had to be up a bit more than that, and I think it's the worst possible outcome. It's a gift in the end.
sure.
Just pink and black then, to go 4 up with 5 to play.
Eleven.
A vital frame. Robertson has won it on the black, and he goes 4 up with 5 to play at 9-5.
Welcome back to the final, featuring Neil Robertson and Mark Allen. This is the must-win frame for Allen, as his rival Robertson is just 1 away from the title. Commentary from Neil Folds and Clive Everton.
It isn't over yet, but Mark's best chance is to free his shoulders, I think, for a few
15.
shots, and just
Mark
see if he
Allen
can
to
start
break.
knocking balls in, and who knows where that could lead. I think whoever lost that frame was going to be disappointed just in the way that it was being played.
Yes, and it was 52 minutes, so such an investment of effort, even though the overall quality of it wasn't up to much by the standards of a top player. Good long red.
Mark Allen 1.
I think Allen in particular has become very conscious of how tough these pockets are. That again was on the side cushion jaw.
1.
Yes, I mean, it's not so much that a few days on the same table, the pockets get more difficult because the cloth wears a little bit, because I know that they were recovered yesterday or overnight before the semi-finals.
6.
So everything should be in tip-top condition. I think it is. But we haven't seen
7.
too many balls drop in off the bottom jaw. Or certain shots we're not sure about whether they'll go in. All those ones have stayed up. Into the bunch here. Pink full on. Yes, very nice. Deserves to be on something solid.
12. $13.
That was a positive shot. The only thing not in Robertson's favour now is the position of the black.
18. $19. 21. $22.
He's hit it too well, actually. So much so that he's playing it down into the bottom left now, instead of the middle. Well, it's going to be all about the blues and pinks. Black clearly
27.
is not in play and is unlikely to come in play during this break until perhaps much later. He's got to chip away here, get over the line.
$28.
Straight, maybe even the wrong side.
33. $34.
A surprising error
34.
as the winning post was starting to come inside.
One.
Oh dear, that's one of the worst of the lot, actually. We know he's got a fast cue action.
Mark
That
Allen
was a
one.
very short backswing and something of a jab. At the moment, he has lost his cueing, I'm afraid. I don't see any comebacks now. Maybe not even another visit to the table.
Sure. One.
I think in general it's been a good match, and Mark's played very well this week, but he's been a bit hot under the collar tonight.
Yes, he made a great effort to get back from 8-3 to 8-5. But it always looked as if he'd left himself too much to do.
7.
Neil played very well this afternoon to lead 6-3. Hardly missed an important ball in that whole session. He's missed a couple into that pocket, though, in this frame.
Neil Robertson 8.
Goodness me.
So instead of clinching frame and match in style, it looks as if Robertson may have to fall over the line, if he can.
1.
Remarkable, he's so straight on this. So he's got to, as a left-hander, reach over and play this red. He's gone a bit far for it, though. He wanted to be at least parallel
7.
with the red, not from that angle. Well played. That's a good shot under the circumstances. I'm thinking miles ahead here. Where the black is, he's a left-hander. He could reach over and knock it in. If it was the final black, he could just drop it down the rail and win the frame that way.
14.
Just trying to think, actually, is there a way of avoiding that? Well, difference 26. If he took 2 pinks here, that would be 12 in it on the yellow, so he could actually make it that he didn't need the black. If he takes a blue at any stage, the black
15.
comes into play.
Hasn't got the best angle on the pink, to get position on the last red. Perhaps it goes without saying he didn't want to cannon the brown. Still 19 behind. And lucky to get away with that.
Okay, as you can see there, he can't really get to the centre of that cue ball, and it means this shot is more difficult than it already was. I don't know if he could possibly iron up the chance of going cushion first, and that could become a big pocket, that top right there with the yellow there. Oh, didn't happen. Found a way of getting it safe. He didn't know much about. Put his hand up as well to acknowledge he's been lucky.
Allen has done the necessary. He snookered Robertson behind the green.
I'm not sure what he said there. A few lip readers might be able to work it out. I think it was something good-natured. Speaking to the referee. Well, another chance has somehow come his way, which seemed unlikely. What can he do? Still the same applies to getting onto the pink rather than lower value colours, so that he doesn't need the black. Cue ball bounced a lot off that left cushion. But the only thing I will say, if he does knock the pink in, it is certainly to be up for the yellow.
This final has already required 5 hours play.
Unfortunately, now that it hasn't gone in, Neil Robertson's on the yellow. I must admit, it's been an odd conclusion to this match the last couple of frames. It's not really how titles are meant to be won, but you take them any way you can.
No doubt about it, the standard has gone right down in the last couple of frames.
He's just got a bit of work on here. I don't see how he can avoid going up and down the table on this. So that if he does play that way, the cuble's got an awfully long way to travel. I think it's too thin to hold. Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. Good judgment of pace there. And amidst all the mistakes, match ball is next.
Over the line then. Robertson led 6-3 at the end of the afternoon. He improved that to 8-3. Allen got it back to 8-5. But Robertson has added the 2 remaining frames he needed to prevail by 10 frames to 5.
It's Neil Robertson who dominated this final, the semis and group stages of this tournament, and who now collects the title, the 2015 188 men Champion of Champions.